All right, so
Hey guys.
we're back.
Yep.
This is actually the same night as the last video.
Here
So
for Tanya.
don't think it wasn't. I'm still Alex, as I
Harley,
was just a few minutes ago. Davey.
Okay, Doodle.
Drinks. Cheers.
Yes, cheers.
Get yourself a drink.
First bedtime story.
I talked too much, so we broke the video up, and this is our first bedtime story.
Yes, so the first bedtime story is going to be our story of going to Natural Bridge in Alabama. This happened last week?
This past weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Sunday,
so
Saturday.
we were headed across
Sunday.
country, and we like to travel state highways rather than travel the interstate if at all possible. Obviously the state routes are usually fairly safe for our size rig, but I was Googling, just messing around, seeing what was in the area, because that's kind of what I do as a co-pilot, and saw something that said Natural Bridge. So I Googled it really fast. We were 4 miles away, which, by the way, is not very far when you're driving on the road. And I showed, said to Alex, oh, there's a Natural Bridge up here.
I was like, Natural Bridge. We've heard of that somewhere. I don't remember where it's from. So I asked her, do we fit?
So I Googled it, and somewhere along the way, somebody had put a review up and said that they parked a charter bus across the street from the state park. Perfect score. We can fit it if we can.
We
fit
would
it.
think that was a score.
So we proceeded to get off of the state route.
We turned left. It was a different state route. We turned left when Navi wanted us to turn right to continue to the park route right now.
So we get down to the big sign that said Natural Bridge, turn right. We did.
We paused. We looked at the small road and we said a charter bus did fit down here according to Google.
There was no parking across the street, by the way.
There was no parking.
What do you
so
do
we assumed the parking across the street was further down. So what do you do when you're in a 43.5-foot bus coming to a single lane and a half road underneath the big gate that says Natural Bridge, turn right?
You look at each other and you go,
let's go for it. You turn right.
So we started down this little road, very small road. Bus barely fit on this little road. And we came to what looked like a gate guard gate building type thing with an overhang. So
it wasn't very wide.
That's in our video that we had put up on Instagram, our preview.
Yeah, you saw some pictures for that for the preview.
So we pulled up. Alex stopped.
Before we got there, because I have no idea really perspective of height. It looked like we would make it, but I wanted to get a better view of it.
So we exit the bus and start looking, and we have about, how much clearance? Not much.
That one we had some decent, probably a good foot or two. Above the bus, we only had about 3 or 4 inches clearance on either side with the mirrors.
Inch to 2 inch on each side.
And then the road continued on for another couple hundred yards, and there was a building, and there was a parking lot that looked like through the woods.
And by the way, this was a not a dirt road, but like a stone pebble, not gravel, but like pea stone kind of.
The parking lot was. The road itself was paved.
So Alex says to me, "I'm gonna walk down here.
I'm gonna go check it out. Because I'm smart. I'm gonna go because I want to know I'm gonna fit before I back a half mile to 3/4 mile back up to the road because I'm not turning around."
So he walks down. I sit in the rig and I'm waiting.
So while I'm walking down there, a really nice lady comes out of the building because she sees I'm blocking her entire road. One of the ways in.
Entire road.
And she looks at my bus and she looks at me kind of questioning, and I said, "Do I fit?" And she looked at me and she looked at the bus and she looked back and she said, "I think so." And then I looked past her and I looked at the parking lot. The parking lot was, I would say it's okay size. Now, it's okay size from the perspective of someone who's been driving a bus this big for a couple of weeks and have no idea of perspective.
It was not okay size.
Of the size of this. So
wait a minute, let me step in. So he comes back to the rig, opens the door, says, well, she says we'll fit.
I did not say that. I asked her, are we going to fit? And she said, I think so.
So I said, oh, does she have an RV? He goes,
no.
Well, no. I said, did you tell her how big we are?
No.
No. I'm like, does she have any idea that we're towing a car behind us?
No.
No. So,
we kept going.
We proceed. Absolutely. So we get down to the parking lot, this okay sized parking lot, that remember is pea stone type covering.
Well packed. With cars in it. And some
with
motorcycles.
Cars. No, not motorcycles yet.
There were some motorcycles, just not the ones we're getting to.
We pull in, and there's a building at the end. There's a building at the beginning. And I say to Alex, we need to get this turned around before the lunch, lunchtime hits on a Sunday.
My assumption was, let's just park comfortably. Let's go see the natural bridge. We'll come and worry about turning around. My wife, in her infinite wisdom, very smart, says, let's get this thing turned around now in case the parking lot fills up and we're stuck here for hours.
So we start, I'm showing him how to make the turn in the...
And I'm driving, but keep in mind, the bus ends right in front of me, and I can't tell. And I've not even begun to learn where the bus ends when I'm driving. So I rely a lot on Tanya to say, no, you've got another 30 feet before the bus actually gets to something, even though it looks like I'm on top of it. Or
say, no, you shouldn't have done that.
You shouldn't have done that. So we go far to the right, and we start swinging around. And we have a video. Did we post this video yet?
Not yet. So
we have more videos related to the actual location.
So anyway, as he's making his U-turn now, we have the toad on the bus. So we have another challenge, and I'm trying to make sure, this is the first time we were pulling it, so we're trying to make sure that we have enough clearance in the back as we're making the U-turn with the Jeep not going to hit the back of the coach. And in the meantime, I'm running back and forth on the phone with him, back and forth from the front, checking the front, to the back, checking the toad, to the front, checking the front, to the back, checking the toad.
And she's like, I need help.
I've done this about 6 times at this point, right? And he's literally rolling this far as we get toward this rock wall that is on the other side of the parking lot.
It's a short rock wall, but there were big rocks.
No. So 4 nice, super nice bikers pulled into the parking lot, and I yell up at Alex or on the phone. I said, stop. Stay right where you're at. So I go walking over to the bikers, and I said, can I please borrow one of you, please? And he said...
Pause here for those of you who don't know, and if you hadn't guessed it, that's Harley. Davey's actually named Davidson, and although we have no bikes now, we are ex-bikers.
So the bikers were absolutely the
nicest people. I believe they're parts of the Saints MC.
So very nice people.
Awesome people.
They came over, and they stood at the back of the coach and watched the toad, and I was at the front. Literally, as we made this U-turn, the bus came over this rock wall and had about an inch clearance on the bottom of the bus and the rock wall.
And how far was the tire from the rock wall?
Oh, it was not.
It didn't rub it.
It did not.
It did not. But wow, we could not have guessed this any better, and we guessed it.
So I will post the little bit of video and the pictures that we have over this. Let's just say that if you have a big RV, don't go to Natural Bridge. If you do, park down the road somewhere at like a Walmart or something.
Unhook the toad, drive it. So we'll get to lessons learned. There's several lessons learned from this. But we did successfully get turned around. We did successfully hang out with the riders for a little while. We got to meet some new people, gave tours. Friends with them on Facebook now.
That's
awesome
wonderful.
People, love them. Got to go see the Natural Bridge, which was pretty cool, and it's worth a quick stop. I mean, you're not spending hours there, but it's pretty cool.
If you're down there, go for it. It's definitely worth it.
And several lessons learned that we had from this. Lessons learned: don't go pulling into places you're not aware of. Go pull into the Walmart or the Home Depot or the other big parking lot. Unhook your toad, and go check it out first and decide. Because
however,
we got lucky.
With that lesson learned, it won't be the last time.
Oh no, this will definitely happen again. We'll tell a Rita story about our fifth wheel someday later on.
Not
Another lesson learned. I mean, one thing we live by. I've been drinking. Sorry about that. Is that bad decisions make great stories.
We have some really good stories.
We have awesome stories, but bad decisions also makes new friends.
Yes, and we actually have some great friends.
We have some new friends based on this one. Which was really, really cool. And we learned Natural Bridges was worth stopping at for sure. It's not expensive. They have a cool little gift shop if you want to buy little things. I think it was $7 for the two of us to go. $3.50 a person. And we also learned we need more space than we originally anticipated to turn the bus around. So don't turn those buses around very often.
Okay, so that was Bedtime Story number 1 by MostTimers.
Yeah, we'll have more of these as we make more bad decisions to make more good stories. And thanks for joining us.
Hope you enjoyed it.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. I'm not ready for this. There we go. Stop.